Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Football Therapy, the Chelsea-related YouTube channel that will be keeping you informed. Well, I'll be keeping you informed of all things Chelsea, but most notably and importantly, be keeping you informed about this takeover, the hot topic. Cheers! I'm enjoying a cold beer on a Thursday evening, I guess less than 24 hours before the deadline, or maybe around 24 hours of the deadline, for all the bids to go in. We'll be reflecting on an article from Matt Law today, which I will be, of course, linking down in the description. Some of the information there, people being on the board, new bidders getting involved. What is going to happen? First and foremost, I thank you for your support and welcome all likes on this video. It takes a second and it supports the channel. And of course, if you are yet to subscribe, I welcome you also to subscribe. Join the football therapy fun, my dear sweet friends. Now, before we get into this article, there has been loads of bids. Well, about mid-20s or something I've read. But there's been loads and loads of interest registered for potential buyers for Chelsea Football Club to the Rain Group, who are of course the external body that are handling the sale of Chelsea Football Club. Now, there's been up between 150 and 200 interested parties, which seems mind-blowing, but of course, of which most would not be serious, and between 20 and 30 actual serious parties that probably have access to billions, which seems like, well, it's just testament really to how alluring Chelsea is as a sort of asset to buy, essentially, even throughout these turbulent times, and with the controversy with the, I'd say, current owner. I was about to say previous, but I suppose Roman still currently owns Chelsea. Loads of names have been referenced. A lot of American consortiums, Nick Candy and people joining up. We'll be referencing that in a moment. Of course, the Saudi media group has been referenced as well. And as things stand, should we believe reports, we could probably assume their bid is the biggest. Though whether they'll get accepted by the Rain Group and indeed the governing bodies that decide who should buy Chelsea Football Club, we're yet to see. Of course, one would hope the owners and directors test scrutinises all potential candidates and finds out what is truly best for the club, the fans, the community, etc. And of course the UK as a whole, it being an English club and an English league, right? So lots and lots of interest being been given towards Chelsea Football Club, and like I said, there's been new people coming to the fore. There's loads of people coming out of nowhere, and this was always going to happen, not least because this is Chelsea, and Chelsea's chaotic at the best of times. Things happen in the background. This is just inherently what happens at Chelsea Football Club, and often you are shocked. So of course I'm going to link this article down in the description from the Telegraph Sport. Of course, Matt Law, very close to the stories, historically very close to Chelsea Football Club, and often, almost always, has correct information. So he's a wonderful source for me as a content creator, and I'd urge you guys to follow Matt Law. Chelsea bidders have until 9 PM on Friday to submit offers, with the pressure building to complete Project Caesar. Project Caesar! Fair enough. It's like, where do they come up with these names? It's like when they're like name storms, like, oh no, Storm Gerald's coming. Who names this stuff? It's probably an algorithm in it somewhere. So 9 PM, there you go. I'm recording at 6 PM on a Thursday evening. So yeah, 7 hours-ish. Yeah, Project Caesar, selling Chelsea. Chelsea's desperation for a quick sale means that groups have been warned their first offer may be treated as their last. So that's important. None of this mind game is like, oh, give me this now and see what it's not a regular negotiation in terms of the bartering landscape. There isn't a bartering landscape. Bang, look mate, you can see here, despite the situation, loads of people are interested. We're not messing about. The running of Chelsea is currently, at risk. The longer we leave this with the sanctions, a sale needs to get over the line. Your first bid could be your last. Bidders for Chelsea have until 9 p.m. on Friday in the UK to submit what they've been warned could be their final offers for the club, with Todd Boehly's group claiming they want to be pioneers for fan involvement. The New York-based merchant bank Rain, the guys handling the sale, will shut the bidding at close of business East Standard Time, which is 4 hours behind the UK, and expect to proceed with between 1 and 3 of the best offers. Cool, so they'll look at, well, between 1 and 3. If it's 1, that guy's going through, essentially. But I guess if it's 3, for example, for theory's sake, they present these 3 best offers to certain external bodies and go, right, who should buy Chelsea, essentially. But even though more than one party could be in advance past the bidding process, Chelsea's desperation for a quick sale means that the groups have been warned their first offer can be treated as their last, like we've just said. Rain have made it clear that the process needs to be completed as quick as possible following sanctions placed on Roman. So, of course, they want to get it over the line as quick as possible, and to get it over the line as quick as possible, it's not just about accepting a bid, it's about, obviously, it running smoothly through the owners and directors test, which can take, it can, as quick as 10 days, or as long as, months and months and months. I think Newcastle took, was it a year or 12 months with the Saudis? They got rejected until they finally sorted out that stuff with the piracy. That took a long, long time. Obviously, that's not possible with Chelsea. I'm not saying that the Saudi media group would take that long, but a long analysis is not possible considering Chelsea's sanctions and how they can't operate as normal. There was confirmation of 2 significant additions to the Boehly bid on Thursday, as it emerged that the part owner of the LA Dodgers would appoint Chelsea fans Danny Finkelstein and Barbara Charon as non-executive board directors in his offer is successful. So that's interesting because Nick Candy was like, I want to put fans on the board. And now Todd Boehly's consortium is saying, we want to put fans on the Chelsea board. The move would ensure supporter representation on the board, and Finkelstein was on the panel for the government's fan-led review of football, chaired by Tracy Crouch as an independent member. So these people are looking at the health of football in the Premier League in the UK. Chelsea Supporters Trust have made it clear that they want the club's next owners to incorporate the relevant recommendations for a fan-led review, including a golden share for supporters, the creation of a shadow board, and the continued support of Chelsea women. So that's putting, 2 sort of relatively high-profile Chelsea fans on the board. Look, a lot of you guys might not be interested in this, but it's important because it could protect Chelsea and indeed the greater scope of the league in terms of, remember the European Super League and how scared we all were, certainly I was, and the protests in the streets from every big club, and not even the big clubs involved. Every club that signed up to the Super League, there was huge crowds outside protesting. No one wants him. And if there's fan representatives on football boards, you'd have to assume that stuff don't happen. That stuff don't happen, man. That's what you have to assume. I hope I wasn't just filming the side of my face there. Cool. So let's move on a little bit. Confirming his... I'm not going to read everything in this article. It's behind a paywall, and I'm going to link it, like I said, but I want to read some stuff. Confirming his backing of the Boehly bid, which also includes Swiss billionaire Hans-Jörg Wyss and Jonathan Goldstein. I think he's the Tottenham fan. Finkelstein released a statement on Twitter, says, These are smart guys who don't just have the money to invest, they know how to use it. They understand about data, they understand about fans. I'm really excited about the plans for fan involvement, which I believe in strongly. I want Chelsea to be pioneers. Boom! I mean, Chelsea from going from hated, team that had the Russian oligarch owner to being fan-led pioneers could be quite the 180. I mean, I don't know anything until it happens, of course, and this is all talk until it's not talk. We need to be very clear about that. But that would be one hell of a 180. The thing is with Todd Boehly, he's already spoken out about not wanting to Super League the Premier League, which is a huge positive, especially for an American sports owner, because that's the kind of persona they're given probably been contributed to that by me as well. I've been so wary of American owners. But he does run teams well. Like, the Dodgers are good. They've been invested well and they compete. And he understands the nature of competitive, high-end sport. I mean, we can only look at what we know here at the moment. Further details have also emerged, put together by the Chelsea supporters group. So yeah, a little bit more here. I'm going to move on because I want to talk about more stuff with the bidders. As reported by Telegraph Sport, bidders must be able to provide legal guarantees of their funds alongside their offers to be taken seriously, and as much information as possible with their plans for Chelsea also must be submitted. The sale of the club is being referred to as Project Caesar inside the offices of Rain. Of course, so yeah, there's that Turkish guy who said he wants to fly a Turkish flag in London. No one can prove his wealth, apparently. I don't know if that's still the case. But they're like, guys, if you're a serious bidder, bring a portfolio. This is how much money we've got. We've proved we can buy Chelsea. Not only that, this is our plan for Chelsea. New Stamford Bridge. Keep the women's team funded. Keep the academy funded. Challenge for honours constantly. All that kind of stuff. And then, you know, maybe in this instance, get fans involved on the board. Bowley's group have already tabled a bid between 2 and 2.5 billion, while the Ricketts family this week confirmed their bid, and they are partnering with Ken Griffin, who's worth 20 billion. Right, this remains, yeah, so this is big red flags for everyone who's read up about this, and been looking at potential owners. There remains controversy and concern around an email scandal Joe Ricketts was involved in. However, even though the sources insist he's not part of the Chelsea bid, Joe and the Ricketts family had to apologise after emails emerged, which he said, quote, "Muslims are naturally our enemy," which has been noted by sources close to those inside the group of Muslim players at Chelsea. Yeah, Islamophobia is a big no-no. Any form of like hate and discrimination, you know, is absolutely non-negotiable. Can't be allowed. It's even claimed that members of the club's Muslim contingent, which includes Kante, Rudiger, Ziyech, Malang Sarr, could feel uncomfortable should the Ricketts family become Chelsea's new owners. Yeah, loads of people have commented on the Ricketts family. Not interested. I think there'd be a bit of an uproar should they get in. Similarly, next up on the thing, New York Jets owner Woody Johnson is expected to bid for the club, while Lord Coe and Broughton have claimed the group will make a bid ahead of the Friday deadline. No one wants Woody Johnson as well. No one wants the Ricketts family, as far as I've seen on the social media. Given that the winning bid must be past checks by the UK government and the Premier League, it is possible that Rain will take up to 3 offers offered to be green-lighted before settling on a winner. Discussions are ongoing over the fact how the money from the sale will go to causes, and neither Chelsea nor Abramovich's fraudstrom will receive any tax relief as a result of the sale of the club. So yeah, this is a weird one. It's almost like we don't know where the money's going to go yet. For me, there's 2 options. Goes to charity, you know, you can pick, you know, it can go to Ukrainian support, it can go to any other world charities or whatever. Yes, I don't want to get into the geopolitics of picking a country, it's not fair. I know it's Vogue, it sounds awful saying Vogue, but the topic at the moment is Ukraine because it's close to Europe, essentially, isn't it? So, war support, we'll say, and or support down the football ladder, you know, pyramid, to smaller grassroots football clubs, enrich the football culture and community, support the football culture in the country that supports the Premier League. For me, that's just obvious. Interesting as well, new bidders come to the fore. A new bidder has also broke ranks, I love this from Matt, on Thursday, with London investment firm Athel Partners, headed by co-founder Ricardo Silva, claiming to have submitted an offer of over 2 billion, so I guess similar to the Bowley consortium, for Chelsea, together, this is notable, together with making a pledge of £50 million sterling instantly available to ease the immediate financial strain of the club. So they'll come in and be like, right, bang, drop a big sack of money to make sure the running can catch up and, you know, things can be paid and bring in the staff who've been laid off and all that kind of stuff. Excuse me. The group also claim they would give head coach Thomas Tuchel their full backing and look to redevelop Stamford Bridge on its current site. So immediately, this new group, investment Athel Partners, like bang, 50 million to keep you safe. Back Thomas Tuchel, rebuild Stamford Bridge. Everything's going to be all right. I mean, that's like if you know, important things there. Keeping Thomas Tuchel is seemingly paramount, isn't it? British businessman Nick Candy is working with former Chelsea striker Gianluca Vialli, of course my last upload, to secure funds by Friday's deadline, while there have been reports that the Saudi media group have also held discussions with Rain. Of course, we've done plenty about the Saudi media group here on the channel as well. I've talked about the UK government and Saudi Arabia and stuff, and how even if like the owners and directors test will be inclined not to accept the Saudi Arabian money, the UK is massively going to be in bed with them now. That's inescapable, if you ask me, in terms of, you know, resources and fuel and oil and stuff. So we'll have to see what happens there. Ultimately, what needs to happen, like I said, Thomas Tuchel has to be a priority at the top. Well, the safety and security of the club, the academy, the women's team is at the top. Then it's Thomas Tuchel. He's near the top. He's very near the top because he maintains a culture of winning spirit and integrity and indeed grace at Chelsea Football Club. He's so important. You know, we need to keep him happy. He's been so happy with how he functions at Chelsea, with how he's been supported, how he feels he's been offered the environment and the landscape to do his best work, which he didn't get at PSG and probably for some reasons didn't get at Dortmund. He feels like he's found this place to work at Chelsea. We need to ensure he continues to feel like that at Chelsea. The new owners, if they have any intelligence, they're going to have to do that. Yeah, I mean, whoever comes in is going to be rich. And whoever comes in need to basically prove that they're going to continue trying to challenge, essentially. That's what, you know, ultimately we want to be competitive. We're a big club, you know. So that's where we're at. I'm going to keep you guys updated. Make sure you keep it locked. Turn the bell on when you subscribe, and I'll always keep you updated on what's happening. So see you very soon. Peace.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.